Welcome to our 5th Microsoft Extreme Show, coming to you live from the Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington. Now, please welcome your host, a veteran of 2 previous Extreme shows and the lead product manager from the Front Page Group at Microsoft, Mr. Tom Bailey.
Well, hi, everybody. I want to first welcome everybody in the live studio audience. I got people all around me here, which is fantastic. I'd also like to welcome and say hello to the 15,000 of you located at 30 movie theaters across the country. I'd like to welcome you to the fall 1999 edition of Microsoft Extreme. And as always, special thanks do go out to the many local user group partners who have helped make it possible to bring this show to you today. All right, for those of you who have been at an Extreme event in the past, you're very familiar with the fact that we've got a very unique event for you. For those of you who this is the first time, Microsoft Extreme is really the only time where Microsoft product managers come together to showcase Microsoft's latest and greatest products and services. And today we're excited to be broadcasting to you live from Microsoft's Red West Campus cafeteria here in Redmond, Washington, all around us here. And it's located about a mile from the corporate campus where Bill works and is home to well over 1,000 people, many of whom are going to be responsible for creating the products that you're going to see demonstrated today. By day, these folks eat and have meetings here in this cafeteria, and today we've turned it into a product stage. This should be a lot of fun. Now, as some of you remember, I hosted the last Extreme show in June, and I demonstrated Office 2000 back when we did the show at Comdex in November last fall. And it's great to be here again, but I have to let you in on a little secret. You see, I head up the Front Page team here at Microsoft, have 4 or 5 people who work for me, and I really asked the powers that be if we could show Front Page to you again today. And the issue was, they said that we showed Front Page at the last 2 shows, and that Front Page wasn't new enough since we launched it in June, not here in time for holiday. Well, it's a shame I can't show you Front Page because it is a great product and it makes it super easy to create web pages and websites. And therefore, I hope you understand why I took the liberty of wearing my favorite Front Page polo shirt right here, Front Page polo shirt, under my Extreme shirt today. That's as close as I can get you to the product this time, but hopefully next time we'll be able to show it to you. All right, I'm glad I shared that with you. We've got a big show planned for you today, and since it's holiday time, we've got a big new lineup of products. We think we have something for everyone here in the audience and out there across the country. Products like Microsoft Money and Tax Saver, the Encarta Reference Suite, Works 2000 and Home Publishing Suites. We also have Expedia Streets and Trips, Picture It, a number of games, hardware products, and Windows. You're going to see it all today in the next hour and 50 minutes or so. In fact, we've got a very special segment at the end of the show today where somebody from the Windows Consumer Group is going to come out and talk to us about where the Windows Consumer platform is going over the next 5 years. I think you'll find it really exciting. But before getting started with the demos, we wanted to sort of get things rolling, kind of get it heated up by going out and talking to the average man on the street to see if he and she could identify some common Windows icons. Let's take a look at what we found.
What do you use Windows for?
Our computer.
Do you know what Windows is?
Windows 95 or Windows to see into somebody else's bathroom?
Any Windows that you have.
Glass block windows.
Do you know what Windows are? What applications do you have? You know? What M Windows?
What M Windows?
Windows. I live here.
I run Windows NT 4.0 and Windows 98.
Do they have Windows where you live?
Yes.
They do? And do you use the Windows there?
Yes.
What version are you running?
I'm doing glazing and caulking outside the window.
So what I hear you saying is that Windows are beautiful. Does this look better to you buttoned or unbuttoned? Well, this should tell us a lot about you. What do you think of when you see that?
That looks like a kite flying in the sky.
ATM machine.
Looks like an ice cream sandwich, kind of.
Like this.
It's like an ice cream bar.
It's a map of an area with some directional signs.
This is beautiful. I see an arrow pointing that way, this way.
How about the back side of the card? Does that look familiar?
Baby.
That ringing a few bells?
No. Baby.
You should start seeing a seahorse in a minute. You starting to see it?
No. Baby.
I think she's got something on her mind. What do you think?
Wouldn't have that in my bathroom.
No. Would you have this in your bathroom?
Yes.
Because I'm an artist, I see other things that other people don't.
Maybe maybe Oh. Saying start?
This just looks kind of dumb when you get right down to it. This
Windows.
is reversed?
Yeah.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Get ready for a little surprise, sir. It was actually upside down.
Oh,
You don't know how many people we fooled on that today.
I believe it.
All right. Looks like we've got some branding issues to deal with these icons, but it's now demo time. And since 2/3 of the last set of Extreme attendees told us that they were inclined to purchase Windows 2000 when it was out, we thought we'd kick things off like we did at the last Extreme by talking to a Windows 2000 product manager. To do this, I'm going to ask Bob Vissy from the Windows NT group to come out and join me. Hey there, Bob.
Hey, Tom.
How's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Sure.
So, hey, I'm really excited to be here at the Extreme event. We're about to actually get Windows 2000 out the door. We're going to have it in retail shelves on February 17th, so
Sounds
it's
great.
going to be available.
What do we got for them today?
So, hey, I've got some great demos. I'm going to jump over here and show some of that stuff, and I think the folks here and the folks watching probably know a little bit more than the folks we just saw in that video.
Yeah,
so let's see
All right.
if we can show some good stuff here.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Take it away.
So, first, I'm just going to talk about what is Windows 2004. It's really the operating system for business users. It's our next generation operating system. And what business users have told us that they want is they want Windows 2000 to be secure and reliable like NT has always been and offer that power. But also, they really wanted the advantages that Windows 98 had, so with plug and play and with the power management support. So what I'm going to do is just kind of jump in and show you a bunch of those things and show you some of the things that we've done to build off the power of Windows NT. First thing I'm going to show you is something that normally we wouldn't do as a user, but in this case, I just want to show you how protected the file system is within Windows. So I'm going to go into my System32 directory, and you can see here, if we're up on the screen, yeah, you can see here, I'm going to actually click on Show Files, because we warn the user, hey, you really don't want to go in here. And another thing you really wouldn't want to do is go in and delete your kernel 386 directory, or 386 executable. It would not be a good thing for a user to do. But I'm going to go ahead and do it, because I'm kind of a daring guy, and delete it. And I'm going to sit here for a second, and Windows caches this information. So what happens is we can actually have this rebuilt, and you can see kernel 386 came right back into the operating system, protecting users from these faults. So now the system is still in a very stable, and the integrity of the system is still intact. So just making sure that users can't inadvertently or maliciously go out and bring this operating system down. It's rock solid like NT has been, and it's even better than NT. Another thing that users might do is try and go and tidy up their hard drive. So let's say what I did here is I went into what we call a programs file folder, and I'm going to go ahead and delete an exe here. And if you delete an exe from a program file today, you're in a pretty bad way. You're not going to be able to launch that application very easily. And in fact, you're probably going to have to totally reinstall the application. What I'm going to do here is go into my inbox with Outlook Express and open up one of my email messages. So you just saw me delete the exe for the WinZip file. I'm going to go ahead and open up this attachment, and what's going to happen is this application is going to totally rebuild itself on the fly. What it does is it goes out to the server, it knows that it needs a particular file that I've deleted, puts that file right back into the program files where it needs to be, and the application can be easily opened up. So now WinZip works perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and open up this attachment, and you can see I have a color attachment here. Now another thing that we've done with Windows is trying to make it really easy for customers to quickly get to the information that they need and get to the resources they need when using the product. So for example, one of the things I wanted to show is how easy it is for me to print this document. I'm going to go into my print functionality here and click Find Printer, since I don't have a printer already set up. What I'm going to do is I want a printer, and I know I want a printer in building F, which is where I sit, and then I know I want to be able to print this document in color. Oops, click the wrong one. Click it in color. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Find, and what happened was I went out and searched a directory of all the printers that have located in the business that I work in, which is Microsoft here, and I can see that I have 3 different printers that are available in Building F in color. Well, I know I want the printer that's in Building F, so I double-click on that printer, and that'll quickly install the printer and allow me to be able to use that printer for future use, and I can go ahead and print from here. So you can see what we've tried to do is just make it real easy to find the resources that you need, to make sure that things are reliable, and that you can keep running the system as you go along. The next thing I wanted to show was what we've done with the UI to try and make things easier to find. So one thing that we've done is placed a new emphasis on Control Panel. So if I go to Control Panel here, you can see that it's right up at the very top level of settings. And I'll click on Control Panel and open up. You can see I have all the normal icons that you're familiar with Windows 98. As I scroll down, you can see that all the things that you would need to do to work on and configure your computer are located right here in Control Panel. We really want to make it so you don't have to go all over the system to work on these different things. I don't want you to have to go into My Computer for one thing and go in and set up dial-up networking in some other area. Everything can be done right here within Control Panel. Now today, with our Windows 98 or even NT4, if you had a problem with the mouse and you clicked on the mouse, typically what you would find is you can't really fix anything with the mouse. Sure, you can change the settings, you can change how fast you can click it, but you can't really troubleshoot a problem. So we fix that by adding this Hardware tab. And what I can do is go from the Hardware tab into a troubleshooting wizard. And this wizard will actually walk me through the various problems I might have with the mouse. Maybe the wheel for my mouse isn't working right. So I can click whatever that problem is, walk through the wizard, it'll tell me how to fix that problem, and get me up and running. Again, just trying to make it easy to get to the resources and make it easy for you to just keep on running. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish there. Another thing that I'm really happy about for Windows 2000 is that people in business really wanted to be able to run Windows NT, but they didn't have the power management and the plug and play that's really required for mobile users on that platform. So what we've done is we've added power management, and you can see here I have power options within my Control Panel, and I can set this machine to hibernate, or I could set up different power schemes depending on what it is that I'm doing, if I'm on a home machine or a portable machine. And it really gives me a lot of flexibility as far as power management. The next thing I wanted to talk about is what we've done to make it easy for you to take your data with you. We have plug and play, we have power management, but the way that people take their data with them today varies a lot. Some people use Briefcase, which is really not the most usable solution. So what we've done is we've made it easy to take your data with you and take your data offline. So what I want to do is just quickly go in, and I'm going to make a quick connection to a share here. And in fact, what I really wanted to do is quickly show you, as I type out a share, you can see I have a server share already somewhat filled in. Watch as I click T, how Team Share comes up. It'll automatically go out to the network of that share and show you the different shares that are available off of that path. So instead of having to know, oh, it's Team Share or it's tracking log, it tells me the possible choices. I know for this particular scenario, I wanted to go into Team Share. Now, when you look at these Team Share folders, you can see the little glyphs on the folders there. And what those indicate is that those files have been made available to take offline. So it's very easy to set that up. All I have to do is right-click on this particular folder. Actually, I just lost my network connection, so I'm not going to be able to do that right now. So what's happened here is the folders are actually available offline right now. And so if I wanted to, because I just lost my network connection, it's actually not a bad thing. I think I just stepped on a cord or something here. But basically what happens is I can still get into any of these file shares that I like to. So I'm now working offline as the system indicated to me. And the next time that I connect back, this will synchronize back up. So what I'm going to do now is go into my Synchronization Manager, which is a new tool that really takes over from where Briefcase sort of left off. And what this tool does is it has a bunch of different options to allow you to synchronize your data and set up the way that you want your data synchronized. So as I go in here, you can see that I can actually set up to synchronize my data as I log on or log off, or I can set up a schedule. So maybe I know I'm always in the office at 9 o'clock in the morning, and when I get in every day, I want all the data that I had taken home with me at night and worked on to be synchronized back to the server in the morning so that I can continue to keep that information backed up. So those are some of the things that we've done with laptop support, making sure that we have plug and play, making sure we have great power management, and also making sure that you can take your data with you. Next thing I wanted to show is a couple other fun things. One thing that we've really worked on with Windows NT is to make sure that we have broad support for a bunch of different devices. So I brought a couple cool devices. I just want to quickly show off a couple of these. This here is just a cool little digital camera that we picked up. And I'm just going to kind of walk around here, get this camera on. So as the camera boots up and walk around, just take a quick little picture of the audience here. And this will probably prove what my wife tells me all the time, that I'm a lousy photographer. But that's OK, because the purpose isn't to show you how good of a photographer I really am. It's to show you how cool some of these features are. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to take this camera. And you can see this little black piece here is an infrared transport. And I'm going to go ahead and I have IR here on the back of my laptop as well. So I'm going to go ahead and send this via infrared. If you turn to the screen, guys, you can see that I'm actually receiving this wireless link right now. It automatically will take the picture that I just took and put it into a new folder called My Pictures. So you can see on the laptop here, if you guys go back to camera, I can, or back to laptop, I can actually see and get a preview of this picture. And again, this does really show what a terrible photographer I am. And there's the audience in a very blurred state. So my wife told me to focus. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, you get the idea. And the great thing about this is My Pictures is basically just another folder within my documents here. And it gives you a quick preview, allows you to quickly print look at the picture and get a full view of that. The next thing I was going to show is I had brought myself a little flash ROM reader here. So you can see this little flash ROM. And I have this device plugged in the USB port here. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug in this little device. And I'm going to go to my computer. And you can see it says SanDisk there, and that automatically will happen. And I'm going to go ahead and click on a little video that we have. And this video is playing via the Windows Media Player, which gives you the highest quality of video and audio compression available in the industry today. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this video. Show you how good our video it looks on this screen. Actually, did we lose audio? Oh, there we go. So you can see we have a bunch of great things that we've added to the NT platform, now Windows 2000. Really a powerful operating system that business users have been using for a long time. And I think that people are going to be really happy with the plug-and-play support and the addition of power management and all the other new hardware features.
Fantastic demo, Bob. Let's
Thanks
hear it for Bob and Windows 2000.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a great start. Now, while Windows 2000 is primarily focused on the business customers, you heard Bob say, we do have thousands of people at Microsoft focusing on the Windows consumer platform as well. And as I mentioned at the outset, we do have a segment at the end where we're going to take a look into the crystal ball and find out a little bit more about what the Windows consumer group has in store for all of us in the years ahead. So, since it's holiday time, a big focus of today's show is going to be on the great new games that will be in stores for the holiday. All right? And to kick this thing off, we've got our resident games expert, John Rodman, here to, and he's going to be making frequent appearances throughout the day, but we've got him here to kick off with NFL Fever 2000, pardon me. And to do that, why don't we bring John out over at the games demonstration table over here. Hey, John. Now, I have a feeling that everybody here is definitely ready for some football. You ready to show us something?
Sure thing, Tom. But before we get going, I just wanted to say thanks for coming today, and for all you men who were forced to come here by your wives and were subjected to missing some early morning scores. I just wanted to let you know that in the second quarter, the Minnesota Golden Gophers are beating the Penn State Nittany Lions 9-7. Some Minnesota fans or Penn State haters back there. Northwestern is beating Michigan 13-0. Colorado has gone up on Kansas State 7-0, and LSU is up on Alabama 7-0 as well. So just for all of you that were forced here by your wives, just wanted to give you a little comfort zone. Thanks for coming. All right, so NFL Fever 2000. Last time I was here in the spring, the game was under development, and I was able to show you a few sneak peeks. Well, NFL Fever 2000 is out on the store shelves right now, and what we're bringing to you folks is an NFL licensed PC football game that's easy to use, yet captures all the intensity, the hard-hitting action, speed, grace, athleticism of NFL football. And the big surprise here, folks, is the price. For $19.99, NFL Fever 2000 comes to your desktop and lets you extend that Monday morning quarterback fantasy to your PC. So no longer do you have to sit there, if you're a Packer fan, and wonder what the heck Ray Rhodes was doing on Monday night. You can sit there, march into your PC the next day, and play the Packers on to victory. So let's go ahead and jump in. I've actually got a game in progress right here between the Packers and Tom's beloved Kansas City Chiefs. Using a gamepad made by Microsoft, I can easily navigate around and pick a series of plays. You'll notice Matt Millen's call. Matt Millen is a former NFL Super Bowl champion and now a broadcaster on NFL broadcasts on Sunday, along with Dick Stockton. Along with Dick, Matt brings insightful color commentary to the game, and he also gives you something called Millen's Call, which, if you're not familiar with NFL playbooks, gives you a set of recommended plays that you could call within the context of the game.
Nice job of containing the runner by the defense.
So you notice the graphics and the animations in NFL Fever 2000 are absolutely unsurpassed. The motions of tackling and passing and hitting and running. If you go and buy another PC football game, you might notice, wow, I don't know how that guy caught it, but he did. Here in NFL Fever 2000, you're actually going to see the receiver come down with the ball. Oh, off his fingertips.
Brooks could not hold on to it. It's an incomplete pass. By 7, the Packers face 3rd and 11.
Okay, so we'll go into the shotgun and we'll throw a Hail Mary. So 3rd and 11, Packers on their own 38-yard line. Notice I can see what play I've called, where my receivers are. Here we go. Oh. Well, the beauty of PC football is, unlike the real game, you don't have to punt. So I'm going to try one more time to get that first down.
They're either desperate or the coach has a lot of confidence in his players.
Thanks, Matt. I have a lot of confidence in my players.
Barn found Freeman with that pass, and it was good for a gain of 12 yards. That's a first down. What a downer for the defense.
Okay, so we'll try one more pass for the end zone. Hopefully get a touchdown. Otherwise, you're going to have to run out to your retail outlet right now, pick up NFL Fever 2000, and get the Packers into the end zone. So that's NFL Fever 2000. Check it out. NFL action at your fingertips on your PC. The hitting, the intensity, the athleticism just doesn't get any better. Thanks, Tom. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, thank you, John. And you know, if I were playing that game, the Chiefs would have been ahead, right? The vaunted Chiefs defense would have risen to the occasion.
Okay, you get me next time.
Nice job.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, John. We'll see you a little later in the show. We're now going to move from games to trip planning. And we're going to show you a great new product called Microsoft Streets and Trips. It's a product that makes it easy to plan a trip and take those plans with you. It's particularly important for people who refuse to ask directions, myself included, John included, many others here today, I'm sure. And let's see if we can get some directions by going back to that man on the street, Pat Cashman. Let's take a look.
When you're lost, are you comfortable asking for directions? Is that something you can do?
It is a choice of last resort.
I usually know where I'm going.
I usually have people with me that tell me where to go.
No, of course not. Ask my girlfriend.
She's good, but she won't ask.
So you're the asker.
I'm the asker.
I'm not a guy. I don't have a problem with it.
But do you have a good general sense of direction yourself?
General sense.
Against the stereotype, You, the man, asked.
Absolutely. I would think up there.
I think it's actually that way.
Is it? Okay.
I think so.
That answers your question.
He was really bad at
And
asking
is that why
for
you dumped him?
directions. Yes. Couldn't find his way home.
I'm not so sure. I may.
Could you get your wife on the phone? Would your husband ask for directions?
Well,
I didn't ask, I just kept wandering around.
Maybe not, but I think coming, well, maybe not.
What if you were by yourself?
Yeah, that's no problem.
No problem what, being by yourself or asking for directions?
I hate to ask for directions. I know I can find it if I just keep going.
Seriously, I think this is.
It's a male ego thing. We're very delicate beings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fragile and yet proud.
Yeah, fragile and proud.
All right. Now to see how easy it is to get real directions and do it from a Windows CE device, I'm going to ask Lisa Stratton, product manager from the Expedia and Streets and Trips group, to come on out and show it to us. So let's please welcome Lisa Stratton. Hey there, Lisa. How's it going? I'm well, thanks.
Good.
All right, so you're going to show us Streets and Trips today?
In fact, I am. I'm going to start out on my desktop PC. The application Expedia Streets and Trips is available for your desktop PC. It ships with a Pocket Streets version of the application so that you can install that on your Windows CE device. This one that I have today is the Jornada 430 SE. I just got it earlier this week, and I'm really excited. A little bit later on, I'll give you a little demo of it. Starting out on my desktop here, this is Expedia Streets and Trips. This is what you see when you bring it up. It's a great mapping program for address-to-address routing. Let's say there's a location across town that you'd like to find. You're not familiar with where you're going. You can easily look it up on here, and it'll give you turn-by-turn directions to find that. Let's say you're taking a longer trip, maybe going skiing. The holidays are coming up, probably going to visit your parents or relatives, something like that. You can get great directions from this. Maybe you're doing a longer trip. Maybe next summer you're planning a road trip across the US, something like that. Again, this is a great program for that. So to create a map in here for my Windows CE device, all I need to do is select an area, and I'm going to hone in on San Francisco here. Actually, I'm from the Bay Area, and I'm planning a trip back there pretty soon, but I've kind of forgotten some of the streets, and I want to create a customized map to take with me so that I can easily find places that I'd like to go. It's very easy. All I need to do is select my Tools menu here, and then Create Map for Pocket Streets. And it will go ahead and think about that, and then calculate with the size that will be. And I can just say, OK, that's fine. I'm going to hook up my device right here. And then let's go. If I had chosen to save that, I'll save some time by not doing that. It would take me over here to my documents. I'm now connected. My Windows CE device is now connected to my desktop computer. I can go into here and explore. This is looking at my Windows CE device, the contents of it. You can see that I've got some maps both on my desktop PC and on my Windows CE device. I've already copied them over to, again, save a little time here today. If I wanted to copy them over, it's just simply drag and drop, pop it in there, and it's ready to go. So now, I'm going to give you a little tour of this Windows CE device. And for those of you who haven't seen them before, they're based on the Windows operating system, so they use the same start button metaphor. I can easily select that and see all of my options there. I have my calendar, my contacts, inbox, and some other applications on this. When I connect it to my computer, it automatically synchronizes so that I can take my email with me on the road, or I can check out my calendar. So this is my calendar right here. eXtreme, great, I'm in the right place. We can go into my contacts, and you can see that I've got a lot of contacts in here. It's great, I just synchronize it. I keep all of my contacts in Outlook on my desktop PC. I can transfer them over to here when I synchronize. I don't have to scribble them down on a piece of paper, type them in twice, or anything like that. Let's go to my favorite program on here, which is Pocket Streets. And you can see that I've got a couple of things highlighted there. Those are called push pins. And that's Fisherman's Wharf and Lombard Street. Those are the two main things that I'd like to do when I go to San Francisco. And I can zoom in on that so I can see the streets close to it. I can also find a specific address or a place on here. So let's say I want to find Coit Tower. I've already typed that in, so I can just hit enter, and it will go ahead and find it there. It's located on the map. If you guys have ever tried to find a location on a paper map, you end up looking either in the legend or trying to look for that little tiny spot somewhere on the map. This is great because it will find it for you. And then once you have your push pins in there, you can go to your push pin explorer and you can easily jump between those different items. So I can go from my Fisherman's Wharf to my Lombard Street location. I can zoom in on that as much as possible so that you can in fact see that it is the crookedest street in the world. Later in the day, during my visit, I'm going to visit my friend Deanna at ZDTV. And so I can zoom in on that area. I've turned on a couple of features in this area here to show nearby places. It's showing the restaurant locations and also an ATM machine there so that I can stop by. I can even check out the bank. Okay, it's Bank of America. I won't have any fees charged to me because that's where I bank. And over here I can go to the Crockery Cafe or the Mission Bay Station, and those are my options. Probably later in the weekend, I'm going to go visit my parents down in San Jose, who are actually watching today. Hi, Mom. And I've got my maps already loaded. San Jose, Boston, San Francisco. I also need to add in another map for Las Vegas because I'm headed to Comdex in a couple of weeks. And it's easy. I can just go ahead, create the maps on my desktop PC, download them to my Windows CE device, and I can take it with me on the road wherever I go. No more worrying about paper maps, no more stopping to call AAA and say, hey, send me a bunch of maps. No more stopping at the rental place before I head out with my car. I've got my map, I've got my push pins, I'm all set, I'm all ready to go. It's really a great program and a great device. If you don't have one of these, I suggest getting one. But short of that, you can always print out the maps and just take them with you in your car when you're ready to go. So that's enough of that device. It's really cool, and I just love it. I've only had it for this week. I had an older device earlier, and this is great. It's color, it plays sound, and it runs the streets just fantastically.
All right. Well done. Ted, you're pretty excited about this product, aren't you?
I am. It's a great product, and I love the device.
Fantastic. Speaking of the device, I understand that it's going to be in an upcoming Bond show. Is that right?
Yes, it is. The upcoming Bond movie is The World Is Not Enough. I believe it opens next week. And we actually got product placement of the Giornata in it. So we brought a clip to show you today. Okay. It's not even the preview clip. It's actually pulled from the movie. So it's kind of a special peek for this audience here today. So let's go ahead and roll that.
Sounds great.
Take the controls and keep the speed up so the other rig catches up with us.
I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Gotcha. You know how to drive one of these things?
Doesn't exactly take a degree in nuclear physics.
They're in the pipeline. They're on the move. Faster!
If there's even the slightest chance Bond will succeed, he's the best we have. Although I'd never tell him.
I hope you're right.
Here it comes! It's closing up! Faster! Sit tight! No brakes! The controls are jammed!
tactical vision device. Low yield. Hold me steady.
You've defused hundreds of these, right?
Yeah, but they're usually standing still.
Yeah, well, life's full of small challenges. Have a look at this. Someone stripped the screw heads.
Someone's tampered with the bomb. Missing.
So what are you saying? It couldn't go nuclear?
There's still enough explosive in there to kill both of us if the trigger charge goes off.
Let it blow.
But I can stop it.
Let it blow. Trust me, leave it. Move down. Move down. Jump. Go on, jump.
All right. Nice video clip. Very good. Now,
Very exciting.
It looked to me like they were using this Jornada to defuse a bomb. Does that software ship on this product?
Oh, you know, actually, Microsoft doesn't make that software, but I think it's available in shareware somewhere.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's hear it for Expedia Streets and Lisa and everything. Great.
I'll take that, Tom.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, a quick score check. We got Penn State 14, Minnesota 9. Sorry, I think somebody back here was cheering for Minnesota earlier, so. Anyway, okay, so knowing Lisa, if she had really taken that trip with her friend, she probably would have taken a few pictures. And a hot new product from Microsoft designed for editing pictures is called Microsoft Picture It. Many of you are probably using it today. Here to show you that product is Michelle Klein, a product manager from the Home Publishing Group. Michelle, let's bring her out. Hey there, Michelle.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good. What do you got for us today?
Well, I'm going to show you some new features in Picture It 2000 where you can easily get your photos in, make them better, and share them with friends and family.
Sounds great. It looks like I got some friends here on the screen.
Yes. I know you're a little disappointed earlier about not being able to demo, so it looks like there were a couple other people.
There was a little picketing that was going on when folks heard that we weren't doing front page.
A couple other people disappointed too.
All right. Great. Well, I'll let you show everybody the product.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Well, with Picture It 2000, as I mentioned, you can fix your photos fairly easily with some touch-up features. We can fix red eye, remove scratches and wrinkles. We can add some special effects like 3D text. And then we have a nice projects tab where you can create some cards such as greeting cards and email postcards, and you can create calendars. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to go ahead and correct this picture here. Let's go into touch-up, and it looks like this could use a tint adjustment. So let's go ahead. Over here on the left, it's saying to go ahead and select the whitemost part of the photo. So let's do that. Now you can see the tint has been corrected. Let's click Done. Let's go back into Touch-Up, and we're going to do a brightness contrast adjustment. It looks a little dark. Let's go ahead and do a Smart Task Fix. And as you can see, the brightness has been adjusted. Let's go ahead and click Done. And this is easy and this is great, but with Picture It 2000, we have some new technology called Mini-Lab. And what that does is it enables you to fix all of your photos at the same time. So let's go ahead and open up some additional photos. These are photos of my nephew BJ and Matthew. Let's click Done. And now we have some integrated help, and it's saying, I've noticed you've opened several photos. There's an easy way to fix them with Mini-Lab. So we'll say OK. We'll go into Get Pictures, and we'll go into Mini-Lab. All of our photos have nicely opened up, and right off the bat, you'll notice 2 of the photos need to be rotated. Let's go ahead and click on them and rotate them. And now let's select all the photos, and we can do a brightness contrast fix. And now we can select 2 photos that need a tint adjustment, and we'll go ahead and correct the tint. And again, we choose the whitemost object on the photo, and we'll click Next, and we'll repeat that. We'll click Done. Now we can also crop the photos. So let's pick 2 photos for cropping. And we'll click Crop. And now I'm going to just crop the chair out here. We'll make sure we get his fingers in the photo. going to click Next. You'll notice we have numerous cutout shapes here. So I'm going to select a circular shape to cut him out. And this is great if you have a nice circular frame. Let's click Done. As you can see, in a matter of about a minute, I was able to fix several photos at the same time. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is in Minilab to send an email. So what Picture It has done here, as it has taken all 6 of those photos and it's put them into one executable file. If you click on this, you'll notice it's 271 KB, which is a little less than 1/4 meg. And what's nice about that is if you're used to sending digital pictures, one photo could be up to a meg. So all 6 of these have been condensed in size to a little under 1/4 meg. You'll also notice that there's a nice email, so your friends on the other end will have instructions about what to do. And lastly, when you click on the executable, it's going to go ahead and open up in your browser, so you don't need any digital imaging technology on the other end. So let's go back into Picture It. We'll click Done. And now I'm going to show you some new web features. So let's go into the Projects tab, and we'll go into Web. You'll notice we can create web pages, web albums, and web slideshows. Let's go ahead and choose a web slideshow. And it's asking us to open up our photos. They're open on the bottom of this film strip, so we'll click Next. Now it's asking us to pick a style. I like this style here, so let's choose it. Now it's going to ask us if we'd like our slides to automatically advance, and we would, so we're going to click Yes, and 4 seconds is fine. So now we can go ahead and change some various items here. Let's change the text. And we can change it for this photo, or we could change it for all of the photos. So let's go ahead and change it for all of the photos. Just type in BJ and Matt. Now we can have it animate in from the left. We'll click Done here. Click on this picture here. We can add sound or music. We can actually record our own voice or record a CD here as well. We could add web links. I'm going to change the background pattern on this photo. Since I like to be pretty color coordinated, let's go ahead and match the color here. Just click this button, click Done. We can also change the picture size. So let's go ahead and change it for just this photo, and we'll make it tiny. What's nice about that is it has user-friendly language there that's easily understandable. So let's click Done. Now we have some slide transitions. Let's change this for all of the photos, and we have some previews. You'll notice the preview pane. We can see some of our choices here. Let's pick the checkerboard down effect, and click Done. This is how the picture is going to appear in our slideshow. So now that we've modified the slideshow, let's click Next, and we'll preview it in the browser. And as you can see, this is going to go ahead and automatically advance for you, but the user can also advance on their own. So I can click the Next button here and advance it on our own. And then this is the photo that we changed. So let's go back into Picture It. I'm going to show you how easy it is to post to the web. Let's click on the Post to Web icon. And now we just, again, type in the name, title of our photo, BJ and Matt, and you'll notice we have some web services here. We've really picked the top web services that we feel people typically sign up for. I'm going to click Earthlink, click Post, and it's as easy as just typing in my login name and my password. All I have to do is click OK, and it'll go ahead and post up to the website, and it'll come back down with the website address for you. I also want to point out we have a custom tab, and what's nice about this tab is if you have an ISP that's not going to make it into the list, or a specific website that you want to post to, such as like Microsoft.com, you can use the custom link, and that'll post right up to your site. So let's cancel out of this. We'll click Done. That's fine to close without saving. So let's close these pictures. And no to all. We don't want to save changes. Let's go back in and get some more pictures. I'm going to start by showing you a house that I really like. And what I'm going to do to this house is I'm going to turn it into a painting. So let's go into our special effects, and we'll go into illusions. And you can see we have numerous choices here. We have over 100 illusions to choose from. We have crayon, charcoal, watercolor. My favorite is the sketch. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the pen grayscale sketch. And you'll see your photo is automatically changed. So now I'm going to change the advanced options, and we can change this even further. I'm going to increase the transparency, and you'll really see the green in the grass coming out. Let's click Done. Now I'm going to show you a gentleman I work with, Sheldon. He and his wife are in Hawaii, and as you can see, it's a rather gloomy day. And they want to show these pictures to their friends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Cut Out of Picture. I'm going to cut the background out by color selection. And now I'm going to click all similar areas, make the range 1, and now I can draw through the areas I want to select. And you'll notice the purple is the placeholder. So let's select the opposite area. We'll click Done. Now all I have to do is substitute a background in on another day when they took a nicer picture. And it's also saying, you know, this is the integrated help again. This is a composition, and they're asking us if we want to see a movie on this topic. So let's go ahead and swap the background. And then we move it on the stack over here. And as you can see, in a matter of a couple seconds, we were able to make this picture pretty. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of some finished projects. Here's a picture of a boat here that's got some other boats next to it in a dock, and I was able to use the cloning tool, which eliminated all of the extra objects, and really the boat has been highlighted in this photo. Now we've got a calendar, and again, this is the house that I was just turning into an illusion. And what I've done here is I've applied a fade effect, and I've done a photo stroke around the edge, and made it into a calendar. Here we've got something called flipbook animation. And what I've done with Diane is I had a series of 8 photos in order, and I went through a wizard, and Picture It automatically made it look, turn into a moving picture. And lastly, I took the liberty, Tom, I hope you don't mind, of modifying the earlier picture using Picture It.
It looks like you have a few new Picture It fans.
Yes, we do.
That's great. Great demo. Good
Thanks.
stuff. Now, what if I heard you talking about some things? What if people don't have a digital camera?
Well, actually, now you can get a picture CD from anywhere where you get your film processed.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about getting a digital camera. And within Picture It, you can actually get out to some of the photo developers like Kodak and Fuji, and you can actually get your film developed that way.
Sounds great. Great. Thanks. Good demo.
Thanks.
All right. Now, next we've got Picture It, Michelle's product, ships as a standalone product. You can find it in stores. Picture It's also a part of the Home Publishing Suite, Home Publishing Suite 2000. And to talk to us about the other things that you get beyond Picture It in that Home Publishing Suite, I'd like to invite Rob McIntosh up here to talk to everybody. Hey there, Rob.
Hi, how are you? Nice
Great.
to be here.
All right, so what do we have for folks beyond Picture It in Home Publishing Suite 2000?
Well, you're right. Picture It 2000 is included in Home Publishing Suite, but we also have lots of great print publishing and web publishing tools as well, which I'm going to show you a lot of cool things that we can do with those.
Fantastic. Take it away.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to get my screen here. Great. Well, as I was saying, Home Publishing Suite 2000, we like to say it's the best of print, the best of web, and the best of photo editing tools. It's the best of print because we've got more than 100,000 different quality graphics included in the product, including 4,000 from Hallmark Connections, who we work with pretty closely on putting it together. It's the best of web publishing because now we have step-by-step instructions to help you publish your very own content onto the internet. And that's a new feature this year that we're really excited about. It's the best of photo editing because, as you saw in Michelle's demo, we include Picture It 2000 in Home Publishing Suite this year. So I actually run a camera club here in Seattle, and one of the things I'm going to show you how to do is we're going to put together an email greeting, and we're going to send out an invitation and invite everybody to the upcoming potluck dinner that we have. And I'm going to show you a newsletter that I'm working on as well, and all the great new features that we have for print projects. So I'm going to click on the Email and Web Projects tab here on the main user interface. This is a brand new design this year with Home Publishing Suite 2000. We went to a tab design because there's so much content in the product. There's so many things to choose from in terms of projects and things to do. We wanted to make it really easy for people to find what it is that they were looking for. And the tab design really allows us to do that. It's ease of use, and ease of use is one of the key things that we wanted to improve this year in the product. So I click on Invitations. What it does is show me a list of all the various selections that I have. A lot of these we design internally, a lot we use from Hallmark Connections. I'm going to go to the General Entertaining theme. This is the large thumbnail view that's set up, and I'm going to scroll down and find one that I think is appropriate to use to send to all my friends who are going to come over for our dinner. Highlight it, and then what that will do is show you what the message that is currently in the email greeting. And I'll show you how easy it is to change that. Click OK, and what that does is open up the main screen. And the main screen is where we can customize and change it to exactly what we need it to say. Now you'll notice when I scroll around and highlight various objects on this email greeting that the options on the left-hand side change. That's called contextual help. And what that means is that you don't have to tunnel or scroll and look for the tools that you need to make the changes that you need to your invitation. They're all right in front of you. So we'll go ahead and change this to the word dinner. And then we'll go to page 2 here. And then this is where we would include information about the time, RSVP, where to go. Now I also want to include a third page on this email greeting, and what I want to do is include a URL so that folks that are coming over can check out the newsletter before they come over for dinner. And in order to do that, I hit the plus button, add a page. I want to add it after the current page, and I want to include the background and content from the current page. Click OK, and it's going to make an exact copy of the page that I was working on. And then this is where I would highlight this content and change it to say, check out our new newsletter at http://www.sammamish.com. And I hit enter. Now, Home Publishing Suite 2000 recognizes that that's a URL. When I go ahead and email that to my friends, they'll be able to click on that and check out the newsletter. Now, I already have one done, which I'd like to show you. First of all, I'll show you a really cool feature. This is called Send by Email. So you don't need to go through a lot of steps in order to send this. Click on Send by Email. It will recognize that, in this case, we've got Outlook Express as our default email client. And it'll take you through a couple steps. Click OK, and you can send this to your group. So I'll show you one that I've got done already. And this is what it'll appear. This is what it will look like when you open it in your inbox. You can also preview this, too, before you send it out. And it will give you indications about how fast the graphics scroll up, what the type will look like, if there's any sound or animation or special effects, and also the speed at which that it's unrolling. See, we've got a little sound effects, a little crowd music. We've got RSVP information. People can send me an email, tell me they can make it. Check out the newsletter, and that's where they'll also find out if they're bringing dessert or a main course. So I'll close that. Now, I also said that Home Publishing Suite 2000 was the best of web publishing technology. And what I'd like to do is show you a couple of the templates that ship with Home Publishing Suite 2000. We've got thousands of ready-made templates. So now you don't need to know HTML. You don't need to know front page. You can actually just go right in and pick a ready-made template. The hot links are already ready to go. And if you can cut and paste and you can type, you can use the templates that are in Home Publishing Suite 2000 and create your very own content for the internet. Now, I've got one here that's ready to go, which I'd like to show you. This is a friend of mine, John. And John puts together a web page because he's got family that live all across North America. So he put this home page together and he sent a URL out so that his friends and family can see everything that he's been up to. He's dropped in photographs, he's dropped in animation and sound. He's got pictures of his daughter. In this case, it was a backyard 4th of July barbecue. He needs to update talk about the holiday, what they're going to be doing for the holidays. That'll be his next update. And he's even recorded the voice of his daughter so that her grandparents can see way up in Michigan how fast she's growing. There we are. So it's very easy to do, and we've made it very simple for the home user so that they can take advantage of really powerful web authoring tools quickly and easily. Now, I said that I was working on a newsletter, and let me show you where that is. In the newsletter templates, one of the things we found that our customers that they don't write newsletters every day. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to make it easy for them to put together an effective piece of communication. And so a lot of our newsletter templates include things like how to write a lead story, what a sidebar is, how to effectively use graphics and photographs and clip art to really get your point across. And so a lot of the templates in Home Publishing Suite 2000 include information on how to write an effective newsletter. So that again makes it really easy for people to use. So I'm going to go back to the opening screen. Now, 1.2, if you can't find from the more than 100,000 different clip arts and different images from within the product, we have a great website called homepublishing.com, and you can get tips and tricks from designers. We have people online all day giving people advice and information on how to put things together. You can download free add-ons. We have great holiday add-ons for Christmas, for Thanksgiving coming up, and it's just a great community of users. So I'm going to look in here and get my projects, and this is the Sammamish Camera Club newsletter. I'm going to go ahead and open that. This is a work in progress. I'm going to show you a couple of the new features that we have in the product this year. I'll go up to 50%. Now you can see that we've got some photographs already laid out here. And what I'm going to do is go to some of the copy that I've been writing. Now I've got the copy written in a Word document, but you don't need Word. You can use the Notepad editor that ships with Windows. You can use any word processing software. In this case, we've got Word 2000. So I'm just going to highlight this text, and I'm going to copy it back into my newsletter. Now this is a new feature we have called text wrapping. And when I drop the copy into that box, you can see how small it is. But what it's going to do, it's actually going to automatically wrap it around that photograph. It recognizes if I've got images on my layout. And I can move that image anywhere around the layout. It will automatically move the text around to fit that. So that's a really great layout feature. Saves a lot of time in the creative process. Now another great feature we have is called text linking. And I'll show you how that works. I'm going to go ahead and grab some copy here. Go back to my document. I'm going to go to page 2. This is a great, the theme of this newsletter was we went on a trip to Carmel, down to Carmel and Monterey, and so there's a lot of photographs here of the beach and of a couple bed and breakfasts that we stayed at along the way. So this feature I'm going to show you is called text linking. So what you'll do automatically, if you have a large article, or you've got an article that runs from one area to another, this will automatically run the text from one box to another. And in this case, it started up at the top, and then we ran it down along the bottom as well. And we have one more feature that I'd like to show in the editing area. I'm just going to go up here, called Fancy First Letter. And a Fancy First Letter, if you've written a newsletter before, you know it's one of those small things, graphic treatments, that adds a really professional look to your newsletter. And it's easy as going to change formatting in our text options. Remember, our options come up based on what we're working on. In this case, it's text. I highlight the first letter format that I like, click OK, and then it adds that to my paragraph. So it gives it a really nice professional look. Now, I said before that home publishing was the best of photo editing, too, because we include Picture at 2000. And the great thing about that is that we can edit our pictures, we can change the contrast, adjust the brightness, all within Home Publishing Suite 2000. We don't have to go into a separate application. It will automatically launch Picture It for us. So I'm going to highlight the photograph that I want to change, go into Edit in Picture It, and it will automatically bring up Picture at 2000. And here we go. And we can see here we've got a lot of powerful tools. So I can actually turn Tom's front page fans into Home Publishing Suite fans in just a few easy mouse clicks. So I can add a special effect to this. I can add a touch-up. I have all the tools available to me that I have in Picture at 2000. I'm going to go ahead and add a frame to that. Click Done. Close out of Picture It, and then it will save those changes for me. And there we go. So that's Home Publishing Suite 2000. It's the best of print, best of web, and best of photo editing all in one.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Great demo, Rob.
Thank you.
Now, I understand we've got a special deal for eXtreme attendees today.
That's right. I think everybody has a coupon that if you buy Home Publishing Suite 2000, you get a copy of Money for free. So that's a pretty good
deal.
Great deal.
Yeah, great deal. So. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Great demo. All right. Okay. All right. Let's give a hand. Home Publishing Suite for Rob. All right. We got a quick score check, you guys. We got 5 games here. Penn State 14, Minnesota 9 still. John messed up on the whole Michigan Northwestern thing earlier. It's actually Michigan 27, Northwestern 0. There we go, Michigan fan in the back. Michigan State 17, Ohio State 0. Kansas is still up on Colorado 7-0, and LSU and Alabama are still tied 7-0. All right, there we go, live theater here. Okay, that actually wraps up the first half of the presentation. We're gonna be back in 90 seconds. So keep your seats everybody. 90 seconds after showing you a little clip of a great new strategy game called Age of Empires 2. We'll see you in a minute.
You fought hard in Age of Empires. Now it's the dawn of a new age. Though not born noble, Your destiny is to reign as king. You have rich, fertile fields to plow and a brisk market economy to manage. You're building wonders that will stand the test of time. Your armies are training in impressive new formations. All is well in your world, except word has arrived. Rome has fallen, and your neighbors are up in arms. It's time to make your move through the Middle Ages. Best-selling, award-winning, real-time strategy game is here. Your destiny awaits you in Age of Empires 2, the Age of Kings.
Microsoft eXtreme, coming to you live from the Microsoft Red West campus in Redmond, Washington. Here once again, your host, Tom Bailey.
All right, thanks everybody. What everybody think of the demos in the first half of the show? Not bad? All right. Well, we've got just about as many packed into the second half of the show as well. And in this half, you're going to see the Encarta Reference and Works suites. You're going to see Money and Tax Saver, because tax time is not too far around the corner. And you're also going to see some hardware products and that special window consumer segment at the end of the show. We're going to kick things off with Encarta Reference Suite. And most of you probably know that Encarta, the encyclopedia, is the best-selling encyclopedia of all time. And we've wrapped around it a number of other products to make this a really great integrated reference suite for everybody. And to talk about that, please welcome Susan Kittleson from the Learning Group. Come on in, Susan.
Hey, Tom. Good to see you.
Hey there, Susan. Now, I've got to believe that it's exciting to work in the Learning Group at Microsoft.
It's fantastic, especially as a parent. Because, you know, I love when my daughter comes to me and asks me a question, I can actually say, hey, why don't we go find out together and be a part of her learning experience. It makes a big difference.
That sounds great. So what are we going to show people today?
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to show Encarta Reference Suite 2000. And as you mentioned, it is not only the world's best-selling encyclopedia, it is also the Encarta Interactive World Atlas, which is 8 times more detailed than any print atlas available on the market. The Encarta World English Dictionary, which is the first newly written dictionary in over 30 years. And we also include Encarta Online Deluxe, so it gives you anywhere, anytime access to all the great content in Encarta Encyclopedia.
Sounds great. Take it away.
Okay. Well, one of the great things about Encarta Encyclopedia is, the Encarta Reference Suite is that it's also available on DVD. So you never have to switch CDs again if you've got that DVD drive, and I'm sure most of you out there do. So one of the great features that's included that kind of wraps everything together is the great integration. And I'll show you how that works. As we use the pinpoint feature here and we type in a word, for example, we're going to type in China and go see a little bit about that country. You can see here that a bolded symbol means that there is an article that's dedicated to that. I can also click on World Atlas or click on Dictionary and find everything I want to know about China right there on that one page. But first we're going to go take a look at the encyclopedia itself. What you're going to see up here is the contents page, and this is a very easy to use interface. You can actually scroll down this way to see all the great depth of the article, or you can click on the article outline and go through the article that way. But you know, if you're like me, when you were a kid, you wanted something that was visual that would really drive you into the game, into the encyclopedia. So we have this visual bar up top, the multimedia bar, and by clicking on one of the visuals, it actually takes you to the area within the article that visual is. So that way, it's a great way to drive your student into the body of knowledge that is in Encarta. Going back to the home page, you know, one of the big things I remember growing up was the print encyclopedia, and once a year you'd get a yearbook. Well, that has all changed now thanks to multimedia encyclopedias. You can now actually get a yearbook update each month and download multiple pieces of information, and it automatically links to your hard drive, so it'll show up right there when you go to the contents page, and you can see exactly what's available that month. As we go through, you'll see some of the other great features that are included in Encarta Encyclopedia. This is one of my favorites, virtual tour. You can actually go and feel like you are there. Using our 360-degree technology, you can now see what it's like to stand at Victoria Harbor. And you know, if that's not enough, why don't you click over this way, and now you're on Gage Street. And you can, again, just click around and take a look at the market and feel as if you're there. It immerses you into the location. One of the other great things that's included that's new to the Encarta Encyclopedia 2000 this year are the archive articles. We've actually partnered with Collier's and included archive articles all the way back to 1960. Now what that does for you is, let's say you're studying the Chinese Cultural Revolution. It's great to read about it, what we think, 30 years later, but what were they thinking at that time? You can now actually go in and see what they wrote about the Cultural Revolution as it was happening. It gives you a great and a new perspective to think of. Finally, another great feature is the dynamic timeline. And the dynamic timeline gives you a great way to see when things were happening and how they related to other activities around the world. One of the great features is the compare feature, and it actually enables you to go in, and in this case I'm comparing political history in East Asia to the political history in North America. And just as China was having their Cultural Revolution in the late 1960s, look, we were having our own Cultural Revolution here in the States. The Now was formed, and Martin Luther King was assassinated, and Robert Kennedy. It was our own little Cultural Revolution. Had no idea that that all occurred at the same time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a parent, and something that's extremely important to me is to be able to be aware of what my daughter is learning at school so I can answer questions for her. A great way to do that is through the curriculum guide, which is again new for Encarta 2000. This enables me to go in and select a country. In this case, it's United States or Canada. I can select a grade level, and I can select an area of studies. So I'm going to select social studies. And I can see, hey, she's going to be learning in economics this year about meeting wants and needs. And then I can actually go to an area in Encarta Encyclopedia or in Encarta Interactive World Atlas that teaches me about that, so I can help answer her questions. Now I'm going to jump into Encarta Interactive World Atlas. As I mentioned earlier, we're 8 times more detailed than any print atlas, and we have 1.8 million place names. You can go down to half a degree. Now, since we entered China, we're going to stick with that. You can see that we have the reverse highlighting here, so you can very easily see exactly where the boundaries of China are. And you can see that in 22 different styles. So we have the comprehensive style. How about Earth by Day, Earth by Night? That's a great one. And here's one of my favorites. This is just the statistical map. This enables you to go through and you can pick a number of statistics and see how it maps to other areas of the world. So I'm looking at population projections for 2000, and as most of you know, they have the largest population of any country in the world. But as I move this bar on the bottom around, I can see how other countries compare. So France, for example, and when I click on France on that bar, I then am taken to France, so I can move around the world in that way. It's really fantastic. Finally, I want to jump to the Encarta World English Dictionary. Not only is this the first newly written dictionary in over 30 years, it's the first one dedicated to English as a global language. You know, the internet is evolving and email is evolving, and I bet you're talking to people that you never thought you'd talk to around the world. Well, let me tell you, if you happen to be going to, let's say, Australia, and you're telling them, hey, I'm going to go check into the hotel, well, guess what? They're going to think that you're going to check into a restaurant, here we go. In Australia, they're going to think you're checking into a pub, but if you go to Southeast Asia, you're checking into a restaurant. So let me tell you, if you're going to go check into a hotel down in Australia, get a taxi before you leave, okay? So that's the Encarta World English Dictionary. We're really excited about it, and again, as I mentioned earlier, this also ships with the Encarta Online Deluxe subscription, which enables you free access to Encarta Online Deluxe well into December 31st, 2000. So that's Encarta Reference Week.
Great demo. Now, can you tell the folks a little bit about Africana?
Yes, Encarta Africana 2000 is a brand new product that just released this past week, and it is dedicated to the history and culture of Africans and African Americans. And we actually have a little video clip that we can show you about.
Great, let's roll it.
Bring a world of Black history and culture to life on your PC with Microsoft Encarta Africana 2000. Visit faraway places like Great Zimbabwe, Timbuktu, and Bahia, Brazil, while exploring through 3,600 in-depth articles with over 2,900 photos, videos, maps, and other multimedia, spanning 4 million years of Black history from around the globe. Listen as the history of African American music unfolds in the new music timeline, from early spirituals to today's sound. Created with the assistance of musical consultant Quincy Jones. Visit the library of Black America filled with slave narratives, novels, and poems written by noted African Americans. Relive 125 key and defining moments in the civil rights chronology. Learn the history as co-editors Drs. Henry Louis Gates Jr. and Kwame Anthony Appiah from Harvard University, and guest lecturers like Colin Powell take you through important events and topics in Africana on Camera. Immerse yourself in the history, art, music, and literature from the award-winning multimedia encyclopedia of Black history and culture. Microsoft Encarta Africana 2000.
Great.
Well, one thing I just wanted to add, we just actually received a great review in the New York Times this past Thursday on Encarta Africana, continuing the Encarta condition of being, award-winning products.
Great. Sounds great.
Thanks.
Thank you, Susan.
Thanks.
Let's hear it for Encarta Reference Suite and Encarta Africana. And for Susan. Thanks, Susan. Okay, we're going to jump now from reference to productivity. And many of you are probably already familiar and possibly big fans of Microsoft Works. The product, can I see a show of hands how many use Works? Works, there are a number of Works users around here, okay. We launched this product way back in 1987, and it's become a very popular tool for millions of Americans looking for basic productivity applications on their home PCs. To tell us about Work Suite, let's welcome Arlene Huff. Hi, Arlene. All right, let's hear it for Arlene.
How are you?
All right, good.
Good.
Welcome.
Thanks.
What other applications are in Work Suite, or what comprise the Work Suite?
Well, a lot of the applications that you're seeing today, it's got Microsoft Works, Word, Money, Encarta, Streets and Trips, and Home Publishing. And there's 2 other Express versions too. We've got Picture It Express and Outlook Express for email.
It's packed with value.
Absolutely. But more importantly, I think because we bring all the applications in with more than 250 tasks into an easy to navigate environment called the Works Task Launcher. It's just really task focused, and so I think the users will like it a lot, and I'll start there.
So what you're saying then is that we've got all these applications, and they're not just all standalones. They you have this sort of task manager that integrates everything together and makes it really easy.
Right, you start in one place, and it's really the command center, and that's how you navigate through the whole system.
All right, take it away.
Thanks. So this is the brand new Works Task Launcher, and there's really 3 components: tasks, programs, and history. On the programs, I can immediately access any of the applications that are in the suite, and you'll notice that I also have templates that are created in that application that I can go to. On the history tab, this is where all of my files are that I ever create in Work Suite are kept. So I can organize them by name or date or task. I can also see what application I used it in, so I don't have to remember that. Now I want to focus on the Task tab, because when you start using the computer, you don't go in thinking, I need to go into the word processor, or I need to go into desktop publishing. You think, what am I trying to accomplish? And that's how we've designed the Task Launcher. It's really got categories so that you can do anything from creating letters to doing a grocery list or helping the kids with homework. I'm going to highlight just a couple of them for you today. I'm going to go to Money Management, and I can see that I can balance my checkbook online with Money, or go out and track my stocks with Money Central, or I can do a lot of financial planning with the worksheets that we provide. So here's just a couple of the templates. You can see I can manage my college cash flow, I can compare leasing versus purchasing, or do my monthly budget. Okay. So some great tools there. One of the fun things is travel. So I can use Expedia Streets and Trips to find an address or map my route or get directions. I can also use the templates to do a budget for my vacation or a packing list. But I can also make every bit of my travel arrangements right from here. If I click here, It'll take me out to Expedia site on the internet, and I can book my hotel online without leaving what I was doing. Over in the email and internet category, we have brought a lot of the online resources right into the product. So I can go play some games, I can look for a house, I can check email or sign up for a free Hotmail account, and I can go check news or go shopping. Okay? Now, if you're looking for something in particular and you don't want to search through the categories, I can type in something that I'm looking for, and it'll automatically bring me templates or files that I've created that relate to that topic. So again, I have a lot of different templates I can choose from in the chores and errands list. I have boat maintenance, things like emergency preparation, just in time for Y2K, and daily households, or I can do a job chart for my kids. And you notice that when I bring up any application, I have this help pane to give me step-by-step help throughout the project. And we also use the answer wizard technology, so I can type in my own terms what I'm looking for. I might say, you know, for this, I want to add some more rows. And it'll tell me how to add rows and give me step-by-step instructions. Now, a lot of people are really excited that we have so many predefined templates to get started quickly, but we also know that we have to provide flexibility so that you can customize and make it personal and make it fit your needs. So I can go here and change things around. I can change the formatting, the fonts, and I can use the new previewable fonts. Get to see them before I select them. I'll change there. And then when I do personalize a template, I go back to the task launcher, and now I've got a new category called personal templates. And that's where I'll keep all my custom templates. I'll start this up. And this is one that I created personally. You know, I was so excited when the product got done. I got to go home and show my family all the cool things that you can do with WorkSuite. But my 8-year-old didn't care for this feature very much. One of the most common tasks that people do is write letters. So I want to show you our new letter wizard. Now notice when I bring up this letter wizard, up at the top it says Microsoft Word. That's Microsoft Word 2000, the same Word that you get in Office. But WorkSuite gives you the best of both worlds because you get the robust features of Word, but the ease of use from the Works templates and wizards. So I'll go ahead in my wizard. I can check a lot of different styles, a simple, more fun, professional. We'll just take that. I can create letterhead, or I can use custom stationery. I'll just change the border there. And one of the neat features is we even provide sample content. Now this content is for letters that can be hard to write, like requesting a job interview or disputing a bill. There's even a letter for if you have a neighbor whose dog barks all night long. And then lastly, I want to choose who I can send it to. So I'm going to click on my address book, and instead of using a lot of different Works databases, I use the Windows address book, and that's a central resource for all the applications in Suite that use addresses. So I can pick an individual, or I can take a bunch of individuals and make them a group if I want to do a newsletter. So I'll just pick one and finish my wizard, and then I've got a complete letter. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is the Works calendar. So I go to Programs, and I can start my calendar right from there. And we've really designed the Works calendar to be the tool that you can use to manage your whole household. So we know that multiple people are in your home, and you want to see different things. So you can see I've got some things on my plate for this month. And over in the category filter, I can view particular ones. If I say I want to see just my events, I can get rid of my daughter's soccer practice. So if I unclick sports, it'll take it off the calendar. But I didn't lose the data, it's still there. It just simplifies how I want to view it or print it. I can look at daily, weekly, or monthly. And it's very easy to set a new appointment. Matter of fact, I have my friend Sam's birthday coming up next week. So I'll put that in, and I'm going to select a category. I'll select birthday, but if I wanted to add my own categories, I can do it here. For instance, if everybody in the household wants to have their own category so they have their personal schedule, you can do that right here. And then I can also set reminders. I need reminders. So I'll set 1 week. And then it's on my calendar. Now, the tools in the Works calendar are great for scheduling. They really keep you organized, but a lot of people like to make a fancy calendar and hang it on a wall or put it on a desk or even give it as a gift. So all I did is clicked once on the toolbar and I launched home publishing. And that gives me hundreds of calendar styles that I can choose from. I would just open it and from the menu bar, select to import my dates, and I have all of my information from the Works calendar in here ready to print and hang on the wall. Now you remember that I entered in my friend's birthday? I can use home publishing to create a card. There's over 1,000 different greetings that I can use, so I can make a personal birthday card and send it out. Or if you're like me and you procrastinate to the very last day and you don't have time to send anything, you can go send an animated, fun email greeting. Okay, we're back at the Works Task Launcher, and you've seen that WorkSuite really has everything you need for your home PC, and there's a lot of projects, and I've just touched on a few. So I wanted to show you this quick video that'll walk you through how you can use all the tools in WorkSuite for a common home task from start to finish.
It was time for the Nature Scouts annual fundraising event at our kids' school. This year, we volunteered to help, knowing we had Microsoft WorkSuite 2000. All the software titles and creative guidance that we need are in this one box. My wife said, first we need to get organized. So we started up WorkSuite 2000. All the wizards and templates in Works make it easy to track what needs to happen and who's responsible for what. My daughter said, every fundraiser needs great advertising, so we used Microsoft Home Publishing 2000 to create a gigantic banner, some flyers, even plant descriptions, and price stickers. Image is everything. Now with any event, it's location, 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 so we used Microsoft Expedia Streets Trips 2000 to create maps and driving directions to the plant sale. We even imported the map into the flyers. So then my son, the soon-to-be banker, tracked all the expenses and profits from the sale with the help of Microsoft Money 2000. Next, we sent out fundraising letters throughout the neighborhood using Microsoft Word 2000. You know, we also learned a lot preparing for our plant sale. With over 36,000 easy-to-find articles and research sources, Encarta Encyclopedia 2000 has information on everything from national parks to endangered plants, plus easy access to the web for added information. The fundraiser was a huge success. It was fun and easy every step of the way. With Microsoft WorkSuite 2000, the complete solution for your home PC.
All right. All right, so what did everybody think of WorkSuite? Pretty good? All right. Nice work. Now, with all of these applications, I mean, you basically showed us at least a suite of most of the things that we've seen today. How much would something like that cost?
Well, you can find it in retail stores today for a great deal. It's actually under $100.
That's fantastic. Great value. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Really
you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Now, speaking of money, the money team here at Microsoft has done a bunch of work to try to understand how people manage their money. And let's go back to the streets with Pat Cashman to get the real scoop on how people manage their money.
Who balances the checkbook in the house?
He does.
I do. What, now, is that just the way you decided to divide the labor, or are you not so good at it?
Yeah, that last thing.
My wife does that.
You know how to balance
Yeah,
your
I
wife?
think I could balance the checkbook.
You could do it?
Yeah, but she does it.
Yes, I do.
Does your wife?
No, she...
I have the online banking through my credit union, and so that each day I just look and see how much money I don't have.
Do you balance your checkbook?
No.
Does anybody balance your checkbook?
No.
If it's close, then that's good enough. It
Close
doesn't
is
happen.
good.
Yeah, I'm an engineer by training.
And of course, for all engineers, close is good enough.
Close is good enough.
Yeah.
Slide rule accuracy.
Do you balance your own
The
checkbook?
bank.
The bank, so you bring your checkbook into the bank and say, balance this for me.
No, they send you a statement.
Okay. Do you balance your checkbook?
No, I don't. I used to.
Do your children balance it?
On occasion, they do.
Even though she won some math prizes, she's lousy at addition and subtraction.
Where do you keep your money?
The little I have in the bank, credit union.
Most of it is in the bank, and some of it is, very little is at home. 90.
I'm going to need your exact home address and when
No
you
way.
are or not at home.
No way.
Have you ever been tempted to rob a bank to get more money?
I actually probably want to go to rob a store. I'd be tempted to rob a store. Or
What store do you thinking of knocking off?
like a bowling alley. Bowling alley would be great.
Wouldn't it be kind of hard to get the balls out of there? I mean, without being noticed. Or are you in it for the shoes?
I'm in it for the shoe spray.
So she doesn't have time to balance the checkbook.
Well, that's her story, yeah.
All right. Okay, as you heard in the video, how people manage their money is pretty individual and subjective. But we've got a new product, Microsoft Money 2000 Deluxe, that makes it easy for anyone to manage their money, investments or anything else financial. So to tell us about it, please welcome product manager from the Money Group, from the Finance Group, or you'll have to tell us about that, Joanna. Hi there, Joanna.
Hi, nice to see you.
Great, come on over. All right, well, as we saw in the video, lots of people have trouble balancing those checkbooks.
That's true, and what I'm going to show you today is actually how Money 2000 can help make that a lot easier. Because I don't know if you know, Tom, but I think we're all really aware that the new year, and in fact the new millennium, is just around the corner. But did you know that the top 3 New Year's resolutions that people make each year are to lose weight, stop smoking, and get their finances in order?
I did not know that.
Well, it's true, and really there's no better tool out there than personal finance software to help you do that. But, and that's what I'm going to show you today.
All right, go for it.
Okay, thank you. Now, I don't know how many of you are using personal finance software today, but if you're not using it, I can probably guess what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, that sounds all really great to me, and I'd love to use personal finance software, but who has time? First, I got to get my data into the product, and then on top of that, I have to keep it up to date. Well, one of the things that we did with Money 2000, and I'm going to show you the deluxe version today, since Arlene got to show you the standard version a little earlier, is we really tackled not only the setup issue, but we also tackled the basic daily upkeep issues to help really streamline money management for people. So what you see up on the screen right now is something called the Money Setup Assistant, which is a new feature for Money 2000 Deluxe that helps new users to the product actually walk step by step through the process of getting their basic financial information into Money. So you can see here, you can watch a couple of videos on how to use the product. You can provide Money some basic financial information about your goals and long-term plans. You can set up your accounts in Money, set up those recurring bills like your electricity and gas that you pay every month but don't want to have to enter every single month. And to show you a little bit about that, I'm actually just going to very quickly walk us through setting up an account in Money so you can see how quick it is. Basically, it's as easy as checking off the types of accounts that you have, indicating the number of accounts that you hold, and then filling in some information. So here I'm going to go ahead and type in Woodgrove Bank, and you can see that Money actually brings me a drop-down list of some institutions that I might bank with. And then notice that Money is actually asking me for a starting balance. Well, you know what? I don't know what my starting balance is, but that's okay. I'm actually going to leave this field blank, and in a minute I'm going to go online and get that information directly from Woodgrove Bank. So I'll go ahead and click Next, and go ahead and indicate that yes, I'm finished setting up my accounts. Now I have the choice. I can either go through the rest of this wizard, but for the sake of time and for the demo, I'm actually going to start using Money right now. And notice that the Money Setup Assistant gives me the opportunity to actually come back at a later time if I want to. As we've tested this feature with our users, we've actually found out that depending on the complexity of their finances, most people can get their finances set up in about an hour. And that's really good news for a lot of people who've resisted personal finance software in the past. So now I'm ready to get started with my first Money session. And you can see that this is the Money homepage. We've actually redesigned the homepage for those of you who are familiar with previous versions of the product. And the focus of this new design is to make sure that the tasks you perform most often, like entering checks, entering transactions, balancing your accounts, like we saw in the video, are actually right up at the front, so they're just one click away. So for example, I mentioned that I wanted to go ahead and get some online statements, because right now it's a brand new file, and I have no information in the product. So notice that Money automatically knows how to connect to my financial institution. And in this case, it knows that to get to Woodgrove Bank, Money needs to use its built-in browser to direct me directly to the financial institution's homepage. So I'm up on the World Wide Web right now. I'm going to go ahead and log in and enter my password and click OK. And notice that I can take a look at my balance summary. I can review my transaction history. And when I'm finished, I can click this button, Download to Money, and it'll automatically download that file so I can get it into my Money product really easily. Now, one of the things to note is that we actually have come a long way. In Money 95, we connected to only 21 financial institutions. And with Money 2000, we connect to over 875. So the likelihood is that if your financial institution's online, you can get to it using Money 2000. So you can see that my download's been complete, and I'm going to go ahead and click to get an online statement where I can review all the transactions that I just downloaded, and I can even edit them to make sure that they're all accurate. Once I finish that, I simply scroll down and click Done, and Money automatically transfers that information to my account. Register. So you can see here that what was 5 minutes ago an empty slate is now filled up with my transaction history. Now, there may be some times when you do want to do some manual entry, and Money 2000 streamlines that process also. So say there are some transactions that you'd like to track before they clear your bank's financial website. So what I can do here is say that I went to lunch yesterday, and I went to Azteca. We have a new feature called auto-categorization that will actually do most of the data entry for you. So notice what happens here. I've actually typed in the payee name, and when I tab over, Money automatically enters food dining out as the category. And the way that it does this is that Money has worked with Sidewalk's National Yellow Pages database and included about 400 keywords, so it can instantly reduce by half the amount of data entry I have to do when entering my financial transactions. And what the payoff is that once I enter the amount and go ahead and enter that, the payoff is actually immediate. I can go to Analyze Spending and see, after having used the product for just a few minutes, exactly where the money's going. And that's one of the key benefits that people say they'd like to get out of personal finance software. So I've shown you a little bit about how easy it is to get started with Money. But what about keeping going? Well, we know that one of the big problems in keeping going is that people just aren't home as much as they used to be anymore. You're on the road, you're at work, and it's just really hard to get your data into Money. Well, what we found is that people wanted a way to get to their finances, their key financial information, anytime, anywhere, from any PC with internet access. And so we worked with the Money Central team to do just that. So you can see that I'm up on the Money Central homepage. And if I go ahead and scroll down, there's a new area on this site, especially for Money 2000 users. Money 2000 users can log on to the Money Central website using a secure MSN password. And here I've got a demo file for Amy and Charlie Anderson. So I'm going to go ahead and type in their information and put in their password. And notice that once I've signed in and I scroll down to that Money 2000 section, not only do I have a listing of their favorite account balances, but I also have a list of upcoming bills due and even a snapshot of their spending in a particular category. I have the opportunity to go ahead and add a transaction if I like. Or notice that I can also go ahead and take a look at my portfolio. So on Money Central's portfolio, I can add buys, I can add sells, I can update my stock prices online, etc. And then when I go home, I can actually launch Money, go online, and Money's two-way synchronization will make sure that the information is accurate, both in my file on my local PC as well as on Money Central's secure servers. So it's a great way to stay on top of my finances wherever I am. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Amy and Charlie's Money file, because I saw a lot of you guys perk up when I talked about investments. And that is actually no surprise. I know that over 48% of Americans today are managing some sort of stock or mutual fund. And what I'd like to show you here is how we've completely redesigned Money's investment portfolio. So if you are familiar with previous versions of Money, you'll notice that this looks a lot different. But if you're familiar with Money Central, you'll notice that it has a lot of the same benefits and features. The investment portfolio in Money is now completely customizable. So what you're looking at here is the standard view. But I can actually go down to take a look at over 9 different pre-configured views, including asset allocation or the performance view, or I can customize it to see my investments exactly as I'd like to. So I can choose the number of accounts that I'd like to see. I can choose from over 60 portfolio columns, so I can choose my 52-week high or my 52-week low for a particular holding, risk profile, beta information, etc. And I can even change the way that money groups and sorts my holdings. So in this case, I want to view my portfolio by investment type, and I'll go ahead and click OK. And you can see that money instantly changes to match whatever my financial needs are. Another exciting development that we've included with Money 2000 Deluxe is that we've actually incorporated all of the information from Money Central Investor. And you can access that information directly from within Money. So if you're researching a stock or fund and you want to read an article or you want to get some analyst info, you can do that right here. And even more exciting is that many of you might know that there used to be a $9.95 subscription to Money Central Investor, and that's completely gone away. This is all free, everything that you see here, and that's really good news. So next, I'd like to show you actually my favorite feature in the product, and there's an interesting story behind this. When we were in the initial stages of developing Money 2000, people were sitting around in a brainstorming meeting, and our lead tester got up and he said, you know what, I am so tired of talking about budgeting, I'm tired of talking about saving, I want to know how to spend money. And with that, the idea of the purchase wizard was born. And I'm going to just take a look here. In addition to all of the great long-term planning tools that Money 2000 offers, we've now included something called the purchase wizard to help you with short-term goals. So for example, let's say that Amy and Charlie want to buy a car, and they know it's going to run them about $30,000. They can go ahead and enter that information into Money, and based on their individual finances, Money will actually bring them up a list of options for actually funding that purchase based on the information that they have. So in this case, Amy and Charlie have a really healthy investment portfolio, and so rather than incurring high interest rate debt, Money actually recommends that they sell investments and pay cash. So they can go ahead to explore that option, just click Next, and Money will offer to actually choose the investments to sell based on the selling strategy that they choose. So when I click Next, they can go ahead and handpick the stocks, but as you can see, Money can also pick it for them. And in this case, it's picked them on a first-in, first-out basis. But notice what's really exciting is at the bottom of the screen, in the lower right-hand corner, Money not only tells them which investments it would be wise to choose, but it actually estimates their capital gains and suggests that they sell enough of their investments to cover that cost as well. As I said, this was based on first-in, first-out. But if Amy and Charlie wanted to see a strategy that minimized their taxes due, they can go ahead and do that. And notice that their estimated taxes have been reduced based on selling some different investments. So what do you think of that? Now, as I mentioned, the new year is right around the corner. But in addition to the holidays, in addition to New Year's resolutions, the other thing that we're all thinking about is the word I just mentioned a minute ago, taxes. And we know that taxes aren't fun for anybody, but Money 2000 is trying to make that a little bit easier. So we've created a new tax center in the product that you see right here. And the tax center basically allows you to not only manage your taxes throughout the year, so you can see that you can estimate taxes. As I mentioned, you can estimate your capital gains taxes, and you can even find personal tax deductions. In addition to that, you can also export your data from within Money into tax preparation software. And as a special treat for our eXtreme audiences today, I've got a really brief sneak peek at Microsoft Tax Saver. So as you noticed, I just launched Tax Saver directly from Money's Tax Center. We have a seamless integration story between Money and Tax Saver. And I just need to click Next and go ahead and save my file. And all of the data from Money that would be pertinent to my taxes is exported into Tax Saver to give me a jump on my tax preparation. And one of the things that you'll notice is just how much Tax Saver looks like Money. So if you're already using Money, it should be no problem to go ahead and start using Tax Saver. Along the top, you notice that we use the same navigation bar that Money uses, as well as the same help format, including the answer wizard that'll help you type in your own questions about taxes and get an answer immediately. And again, in keeping with how we do things in Money 2000, Tax Saver breaks the tax preparation process down into 6 easy steps. so that preparing an accurate and complete tax return is just as easy as money makes managing your finances throughout the year. So thanks very much.
All right, great job. Let's hear it for Money and Tax Saver and for Joanna. Now, we certainly know Money is out today. Did you mention to everybody when Tax Saver is going to be available?
I didn't. Actually, Tax Saver will be out at the end of this year, just in time to receive all your W-2s.
Sounds great. Thanks, Joanna.
Tom.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, so we're going to pop to a game, and because John can't hear us outside, we are going to talk a little bit about Lynx 2000. And John, are you around somewhere? There he is. He's practicing his game right there.
Hey, Tom. I'm out here on the Lynx. For those of you who aren't a hardcore golfer enough to stand out here in the rain like I'm doing right now, but you got to get in that 9 or 18 rounds every day, Microsoft Lynx LS 2000, which was just released and is available on all the retail outlets near you, features Arnold Palmer, Fuzzy Zeller, and a cast of professional golfers playing courses all over the world. This year's version of Lynx LS 2000 features St. Andrews Old Course, which is the home of the British Open Millennium coming up next summer in the United Kingdom. But instead of me standing here talking to you about all the things that are in the game, why don't we just take a look at showing you what's actually in the game.
If golf is your passion, then the newest version of the all-time best-selling golf simulation has a tee time for you.
Thank you.
Announcing Microsoft Lynx LS 2000. Experience the authentic way the ball plays on 5 new world-class courses. So photorealistic and true to life, you'll actually believe you're there.
Dropped it.
Select St. Andrews Old Course, the site of the Millennium Open. Or try Indiana's Covered Bridge, or Hawaii's Hapuna. Lynx LS 2000 has added 4 new players. This impressive lineup of 12 golfers includes golf legend Arnold Palmer. First time out on the course? Then you're gonna love this. Just 2 clicks, and you're teeing up the ball for a shot straight down the fairway. It's just that easy. You can even choose the swing that best fits your game. Easy, classic, or power stroke. Then view your shot from a variety of angles. And get golf tips and commentary from golf analyst David Faraday.
Ooh, how did that stay out?
Come to grips with your passion for golf and tee off with Microsoft Lynx LS 2000, the golf game for real golfers.
So, as you can see, I've lost my ball, but if you get out and get onto the course, be sure and take that coupon that we gave you today. And on the way out, when you go pick up Lynx LS 2000, we'll have a coupon that you can redeem for 5 free additional courses in a course pack. So check out Lynx LS 2000 from Microsoft. Thanks. Back for you, Tom.
Nice work, John. It's pretty hard to imagine John getting anything done at work, actually. Could you imagine playing games all day? It's incredible. Anyway, so far you've seen a bunch of great software, but Microsoft also makes some great hardware as well. And our next presenter is going to show us a couple of amazing new hardware products from Microsoft. I do wonder, however, whether people really look at a keyboard or mouse and think, wow, now that's great hardware. Why don't we take a look?
Have you ever seen this before?
Yeah, it's the new Volkswagen Beetle.
You know what that is?
Yes.
Thank you.
I like this. It's kind of silvery and cool, and
Maybe you're
it's
right.
like
Maybe it is a toy.
What is this?
I hate mice. Don't show this to me.
Whoa! Oh, a mouse! There's a mouse!
Look at it's the longest tail I ever saw.
looks like a spaceship.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
You know,
Very space age
Looks
looking.
like a little shoe,
Yeah.
if you look at it this way.
it looks like it's going to improve my life, whatever it is.
You're gonna kick yourself when I tell you. It's called a mouse.
Ah, called the mouse. It looks like that razor for my legs, because they're really hairy.
Well, this is a little side gadget that mine doesn't have.
Computer.
Yes.
This computer.
Mm-hmm. So you recognize this right away as a mouse.
Oh, it is, sure. Oh, this is a nice. Is this the latest? This looks great.
Look how it fits in your hand.
It's nice.
Very nice.
Smooth. I like it.
Does this make you want to get back into Windows?
Sure. Very smooth. Very smooth. It looks like a mouse.
It does look like a mouse.
I think it's a mouse.
Sean, welcome. All right, I'll go ahead and give that to you. Now, Sean's a veteran of Microsoft Extreme. Those of you who attended last time in June saw Sean talk about Windows 2000 second edition, I think it was, or Windows 98 second edition, pardon me. But Sean is now a member of the Windows Consumer Division right now, which is fairly new at Microsoft, certainly new since the last Extreme show. And can you tell us a little bit about what it is you guys do in the Consumer Division of Windows?
Sure, Tom. Actually, it's a really exciting time at Microsoft with the formation of the Consumer Windows Division. I mean, we used to actually have Windows all together. We saw some really great stuff from the business guys showing Windows 2000 earlier. Right. And having those groups together, there was a lot of synergies that we could use. But when you really look at what the customer segments are like and the people that are buying our products, there's actually a really big differentiation between what the computer's used for in the home and what it's used for in the business. So what we're doing in my group, which is really fun, is really focusing on creating great technologies to bring to users in the home. So really enhancing the life of home users around technology. It's just a lot of fun right now.
Give us some examples of things that when you say sort of home different than business that we'd be looking at, say, in the next 12 months, things you're working on right now.
Well, we're really focused on 4 specific areas right now for the long-term vision of what the Consumer Windows Division is really looking at. One of those is digital media and entertainment. So really looking at digital pictures and the explosion of digital cameras, digital music, games, video, those kind of things. We're also looking at home networking and how you connect all these devices together within the home, creating the home as this technology platform. We're also continuing to look at how we enhance the online experience for family members. So oftentimes you have shared computers within the home with many family members. What can we do there? And then we really have this huge focus on just making the PC just work. And we really have a big initiative going forward right now. It's an ease of use initiative where we're creating a whole new hardware platform that just makes the PC drop dead simple. And we're going to make big steps in that in the next coming years.
That sounds great. Why don't we take a couple of those areas and talk about some scenarios that you're looking at in the next 1 to 2 year time frame. Something fairly soon. When you talk about drop dead simple, first of all, I think of Windows as fairly simple today. It has its issues every once in a while, but it's pretty simple today. What are we talking about in terms of scenarios to make it even simpler for people to use?
Well, when you look at the PC and the overall computer experience and how things can make it simple, a lot of times just getting the PC out of the box and hooked up is kind of hard, and that becomes a difficult process. So we're looking at all things from packaging of how we package PCs, as well as the internal complications that are oftentimes in PCs that cause problems. From Microsoft's side of it, what we look at is there's processes involved, there's steps to do things. So if I take imaging, for instance, and one of the things that we look at is how many steps does it take to actually take a picture, if you don't have a digital camera, out of a frame and get it into your PC to send to your mom?
Okay.
That takes a lot of steps, but if you can take steps out of that process, you can simplify the whole experience and make it a 3-step process, a 2-step process, and really do really cool things around that. So we're really focusing with a lot of the industry partners at just making the PC overall simpler and easier.
That's a really good point. Since I work over in the office marketing group and do front page stuff, so many of our focus groups, we hear from customers that saving time, because we talk to them about productivity and that kind of thing, that saving time, cutting down steps, making things a little bit more discoverable and easier to use is super important. It's great that you guys are doing the same thing. What about in the digital media and entertainment area? We've talked a little bit before about some of the things that you guys have going there. Can you share that with folks here?
Yeah, the digital media and entertainment area is just tremendously fun, and it's growing at a rapid pace. A lot of people are getting digital cameras. We saw one earlier. We've seen all kinds of devices and things like that. And we really want to take that technology and just really kind of expand on how easy it is to use and creating new usage scenarios. If you really think about digital technology or digital media, say digital pictures, once again, for instance, that's a social event. And a lot of times what you are, when you have pictures and photo albums, you're bound to physical space on how social that event could be. Me and you could share a picture album, but I can't share that album with all these people out here. Not sure that I want to, but we could try. And so if we can actually take that technology and transfer those physical pictures to a digital media, then you can actually connect that easily to your, say, your TV set, and now have photo albums that people can just sit around on the couch and click through the photo albums, and everybody can enjoy your vacation, your wedding, or whatever you have.
Yeah, and it's cool because that's real now. I was just out in Vermont a couple months ago, and we went out, took a bunch of pictures with a digital camera, got home that night, had some people over, and they sort of just plugged them into the TV and just started clicking through and had our immediate slideshow right there, which is
it's a lot of fun and it's
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah. Home networking. What do we got on tap for home networking?
Home networking, we're actually working with all the top industry, both consumer electronics and computer companies right now, to create kind of a common denominator technology, if you will. You look at people's houses today and what they have, there's a lot of intelligent devices in people's houses, whether it be your TV, your VCR, or even your refrigerator or furnace. And what we want to do and what we're looking at is how do you take all of those smart appliances and intelligent devices and hook those together and let them be able to communicate, because there's a lot of uses for, say, a camera in a TV that can be shared, or a video camera in something else, or your refrigerator in the online service to help you go grocery shopping. So creating all those environments where all those devices can communicate and be able to share utilities amongst them.
Okay, interesting. Now, what are we delivering, say, in the next 12 to 18 months? What's the sort of plan of attack there?
Well, we're actually working on the next release of consumer Windows, which is actually codenamed Millennium, and it should be out in the year 2000, probably in the stores in the second half. And what we're doing with that product is really taking the first steps in these 4 areas. So we're going to do some stuff around the digital media entertainment, the home networking technologies, and really taking steps more around this ease of use analysis and how we're creating this new hardware platform just to simplify the PC. So that should probably be out in the stores in the second half of year 2000.
Okay. All right. Now take us 3 to 5 years out. Let's start. Let's give me 2 or 3. Give the audience here 2 or 3 kind of cool, kind of wacky, futuristic kinds of things that we can start thinking about.
Okay, so I feel kind of cheated because I don't have any demos since we're thinking, so everybody's going to have to close their eyes and just kind of imagine the things I'm talking about, so make it a little easier. I feel like Carmack, just here we go. But some of the cool things that we're really looking at, and I think that are going to come around pretty quickly, are, we'll go back to digital media and entertainment and things and how you home network your house. One of the things that we look at in my house is my wife and I oftentimes don't want to watch the same movie. But if we don't have multiple VCRs in the house, then we're kind of, flipping a coin to see who wins. We're working on technology now with DVD and the emergence of that where you can have a multiple DVD changer that you can put in a closet, and you have all your DVDs in there, and then you can actually take that video that comes off of those discs and route those through existing wiring in your house, so you can have a menu system on your PC. And I can actually choose to watch the Disney movie, which I like to watch, and my wife can watch some love story that she wants to watch. And we can actually route it from the same box to different TVs within the house. So we don't have to have multiple devices in every room to be able to do those kind of things.
That sounds pretty cool. Very cool. What about, you gave me the example earlier, the cable guy. You want to share the cable guy experience?
Yeah, I think that everybody has experienced having cable set up in their house and getting that wonderful 4-hour block of time that you have to sit on your couch and really do nothing. And so with technology down the road, there's things that you can do to eliminate that whole process. And so if you had to get your cable set up in your house, and if you can imagine this, you don't have to be there. So the doorbell rings, and on your PC at work, an alert could come up on your PC, which would have the video camera on your porch could actually show you, hey, the cable guy's at your house. You can verify credentials, and at the same time, the camera at work is actually broadcasting your picture to your little LCD screen on your front door. And you can actually say, okay, so I know the cable guy's there, he sees me, we have a little conversation, he verifies via a smart card or some other technology, and I can digitally unlock my doors from the PC. And so then I can monitor him in my house, make sure he gets it all set up. On the way out, I can do my digital signature to sign, say, hey, I verified it, lock the doors on the way out, and thus I don't have to waste 4 hours of my day waiting for the cable guy to come.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Not too bad. More for a guy like me, it would be if I left my keys somewhere or lost my keys, I could just use my PC to open up the door to my house, which would be pretty cool as well. So,
very beneficial.
All right, Sean, well, thank you very much for taking the time to share some of those thoughts with us. We certainly have now a 3 to 5 year scope for what eXtreme is going to be showing us down the road. So thanks a lot.
Thanks,
appreciate
Tom.
it.
This is your head. This is a game. This is how you get your head into the game. It's a whole new way to play. Take control with Microsoft Sidewinder Dual Strike. Ergonomically designed for total immersion into 3D action-adventure games. 2 triggers, 6 buttons, left hand, right hand. Dual Strike combines the precise control of a mouse with the cat-like agility of a gamepad. The secret is in the swivel. With the dynamic rotating perspective control, your right hand becomes your character's head and body to aim, lock, and fire, while your left hand gives you the freedom to run, dodge, and sidestep. The combination is pure devastation. Difficult moves like circle strafing are now more intuitive with Sidewinder Dual Strike. And if you happen to drift offline, you can use the built-in clutch to instantly bring your target back home to center. Plug-and-play USB compatibility means you're ready to play right away. Add the Sidewinder award-winning game controller software, shipped with 20 top game profiles all preloaded, and multiple customizable buttons, and the result is lethal. Why play around when you can be the character? The precision of a mouse, the speed of a gamepad, joined together in the fight against evil. Get your head in the game. Nobody takes control like Microsoft Sidewinder Dual Strike.
All right, everybody. Well, that brings us to the end of this version of Extreme. I hope everybody's enjoyed yourselves and the whirlwind of products that we showed you today, even though we weren't able to show you Front Page 2000. I'd like to remind you to check out your Extreme packets to find out more information on those special offers for Extreme attendees. And thank you all and to all of our user groups for making this a great show. I encourage you to check out the Extreme website at www.microsoft.com/Extreme in early spring to find out information on the next show. For all of us here at Microsoft Extreme, thanks so much and so long.